we meet again. Greetings, folks. Welcome once more to Deadlands Noir. Before we get going, just as once again, pieces of business here, just want to remind folks who may have heard this already or who don't know yet that actually the game Spy Hunter, which has a delightful campaign that's been run on this channel, has a 50% off deal on its core books. Go and check that out. There are links down there in the Twitch chat if you want to take advantage of that. I would highly recommend it because it sounds like a freaking awesome game. So go forth and take a look at all of that goodness. I also once again want to shout out to the people watching us from the future in the land of the YouTubes. Hello. What's the future like? I'd really like to know. I think we'd all like to know right now.
Yeah, especially right now.
Let us know. Let us know how things are, and if the robot overlords are treating us well. It'd be good to know. Say hi to any other extraterrestrial species we've encountered at this point for me, would you? Because I'd very much like to return home one day, but that's another story entirely. So, let us come back to Earth now, as we prepare for Deadlands Noir. This is a game set in 1935. It's a Western Noir game. The way I run it, it's a Western Noir game, set out in the Dust Bowl region. We are following our intrepid investigators who all work for a carnival, and we're going to go around and say hi to everyone, and once again find out who they are and who they're playing. And we shall start with Ray. Hello.
Hey, I'm Ray, everybody, or with Brick on the interwebs, and today I play Piper. She is a fire fan performer in the main tent of the circus, and also has a cool ghosty friend that we met last session. That is great, and apparently Willa can see her too, so that's even more fun now. But yeah, I play Piper, and I'm excited to be here today, and it's gonna be a great time.
I am so looking forward to this. We're gonna change up the order a little bit. We're going to go counterclockwise now, or clockwise. It's clockwise, isn't it? One day I'll learn how spirals work. Let's head over to say hi to Pepper. Hello, Pepper.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pepper. You can find me on Twitter at mebethem4815, as seen above. I am playing Kai, or Mordecai, the resident photographer with an interesting background, a dirty little secret or three. And I'm very curious to see what's going to happen.
I too am very eager, and there are many things that I'm very much looking forward to in this, and some of the things that I think Kai will be encountering will be very interesting shortly. But let us continue on round to the face of this clock that I just learned how to read, down to Nat. Hello.
Howdy. I'm Nat. I'm going to be playing your resident magical liar today, Feldon, and I am very excited to get into some deep magical fuckery today. Feldon is the carnival magician who definitely doesn't actually do magic. Promise.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's completely that's a fiction, a total fiction.
Of course. Would I lie to you, Jim?
Of course not. I can't imagine. I can't possibly imagine. But hi, Anna, save us.
Hello, everybody. I am Anna, also known as Nymeria, and today I will be playing Willa, who remains to be seen, the supernatural skeptic carnival business manager who last session recently discovered that a few of the friends that she had following her around the town were recently deceased, shall we say? So I'm excited to see where that's going to go. And by excited, I definitely don't mean scared. of little ghost children. Not at all.
Never.
It's fine.
Yeah. Not at all. And now let us head over to Colin. Hello.
Hello, I'm Colin. That's my Twitter handle. And I play Richard, the security guard in the carnival, with a friend in high places. I would not friends in high places, a friend in a high place.
Yes.
And another thing I want to remind people about is that kind of roleplay. They've got their monthly meat grinder coming up. Applications close Monday, so now's your chance if you want to get that in. There's still a few slots open, and it is run by yours truly. It is Deck of Many Things themed, and any survivors of the Dungeon of Many Things will get one wish to do with as they see fit. And also, whichever charity we are giving to, the poll for that, you guys will be able to vote on which charity we are giving to. That goes live soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that as well.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like that sounds delightful. I've seen meat grinders happen occasionally, and it's just an utter delight of the ones I've seen are an utter delight of Keystone Cops activity. So
as I've been writing this, it's gotten progressively more ridiculous and more evil, and it's great.
Excellent. Good. That's what we like to hear.
I'm even to understand that there are still slots open to play in it, which is quite exciting.
There are, yes.
Cool. Please, folks, go forth and sign up for this thing if you want to get in to get a little grinding in. I think that's going to be very cool. So let's see, what are we doing? Oh yes, we have. So now being fully introduced, should I expect to get down to business? I do want to once again give a shout out to our sponsors, Fantasy Grounds and World Anvil, and to hear more and to tell us more about that is Charlie from the past.
Past Charlie here to tell you about a few of our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds is our virtual tabletop of choice, providing us access to roles, tokens, maps, and more. You can try it today for free at fantasygrounds.com. While you're there, why not check out Fantasy Grounds Unity? World Anvil is a remarkable resource, whether you're a writer, GM, or player, organizing your campaign notes or building an entire world. Get forging today for free at worldanvil.com. And before we get into today's game, we'd like to shout out our friends at Andrews McMeel Publishing, who published the wonderful game Zweihander. If you haven't checked that out, you can catch it here on Wednesdays. We'd also like to mention Modifius, who manage and produce a wide range of RPGs. Whether you feel like being Dishonored, exploring a tale from the loop, or boldly going with Star Trek adventures, why not check out modifius.com.
Oh,
Ah,
I
You're
can see.
do it.
Hallelujah. We vanished into the void, but now we're back. We were banished into the shadow realm.
It's like we're real. Oh well.
Cobalt number
we have
7.
sealed the
Wrong
gate to
lever.
past Charlie's domain.
Why do we even have that lever?
Dangerous. Dangerous going back and forth between the future and the past. It's terrifying. Hi, everyone. Hi. It's good. It's good. There may be some transcendence of planes going on at some point soon, anyway. So it's good. It's good practice. So, where are we? Last time, our investigators distributed flyers to the town of Mission Flats, Colorado, while searching for an old woman who had been described to them as someone responsible for making a strange arcane mark on the basement door of the hospital. Lord Feldon encountered such a woman in the Hooverville on the south end of town, where she was cooking what appeared to be some kind of chicken broth for her fellow hobos. He spoke to her, found out her name was Alma, and discovered that she apparently had been acquainted with Octavia, the ghost child that had been seen in the hospital, and knew her when they were both young. Richard, meanwhile, had a sudden reunion with his old mentor, Lazarus Martin, who told him to keep a low profile and that he, Martin, had had no choice but to rejoin the U.S. Special Services Agency, or the Agents in Black, as folks sometimes call them. He identified the strange creature the investigators fought the previous night as a Feminite, a being driven mad by eternal hunger. He also knew the general purpose of the symbols found ringing the lot where the carnival was set up shop, to keep creatures like that from entering it. He also identified the symbol on the hospital's basement door as a ward to keep creatures of a certain type in. Finally, when Richard showed him a third symbol, one he'd seen members of a criminal gang use years prior, Lazarus noted that it was used to summon the power of a demon of avarice, but that he'd have to do more research to see if anything else might turn up. Shortly thereafter, the carnival arrived. Its owner, Maxine Salem, decided that it should stay in town this weekend despite the strange goings-on because her father, Max, had left a gateway to the hunting grounds open in the Wailing Rock Mine last time he was here, and that gate needed to be closed. After the carnival set up and the vendors opened for business, Piper had a conversation with her guilt-ridden ghostly friend Maddie, who had performed in the carnival years ago. During this conversation, she discovered a number of things. Maddie was the one responsible for the situation in the mine. She destroyed the mine in an effort to stop a demon whom she'd thought of as a friend up until that point. It was during that event that she died, leaving Max alone to raise Maxine, because it turned out that she, Maddie, was Maxine's mother. Maddie also revealed that Willa, who'd noticed her walking with Piper earlier, had the ability to see ghosts. As the day settled into evening and a few conversations were had, 2 government officials arrived and began looking around the carnival, and with them was a Texas Ranger. As that was happening, Richard and Willa returned to the hospital to further investigate the mysterious marked door. There, they found Lazarus once again in his guise as the town's preacher, Reverend Joe Watson, who turned from his examination of the door and informed them that there were many spirits of the dead trapped beneath the hospital, and that someone appeared to be using them as a battery. And that is where we left off. So,
Yay.
much yay. Absolute yay. I think what we're gonna do is, yes. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start right where we left off this time. We're going to be back in the hospital and just sort of figuring out what it is that's happening. Richard, Willa, you are standing there in the hallway. Reverend Watson is there as well and has just made this revelation. What would you like to do?
Richard will probably just move over to the door and immediately start trying to like get boards loose so they can get through.
Okay. So you are heading over to do that. I think what I'm going to call for here is yes. Do an athletics check for me, please.
Alrighty. Ooh.
Okay, that's good.
That D4 was a hero.
That D4 is
Yeah.
D4s. I have noticed
It took a
are
journey.
often heroes. Yes, in this setup, this happens quite a bit. This happens quite a bit. Do not underestimate the D4.
Never. They're good
So
practical weapons too.
Mm-hmm.
that's true. That's true. They make excellent caltrops. But yeah. So I think that what we're going to say is happening here is you pull the boards away. And you're starting to pull the boards away. And while that's going on, the Reverend is going to turn to Willa and is just going to say, what have you folks been? What have you found thus far in here?
Found a girl here a few days ago. Was it a few days ago? It was like yesterday. Oh my god. Found a girl here yesterday that I thought was just a regular kid, but I'm not really sure now. I think that maybe somehow she was connected to what you were talking about with someone using ghosts as a battery, which...
So you believe she was? So you believe she was a spirit?
Believe, but that seems like it's probably... We'll go with it for now. Yeah. Let's just agree to call her a spirit until or unless you can figure something else out. But yes, she was not really there.
Yeah. Well,
but if she wasn't really there, then how on earth could they be using ghosts as a battery underneath the hospital? What source of power is it that they would provide?
There are a few different ways that can happen, but I got to tell you, if this is something this is a world you're setting foot in for the first time, if you're about to, kind of cross over a threshold here, and there generally is no turning back once you do. I will not blame you if you want to turn and walk out and just forget everything you've seen.
You're not really a reverend, are you?
He just kind of smiles, sort of half smiles, and he says, "I'm a friend of Richard's."
Okay. Well, she's sort of like thinking to herself, if you were a friend of Richard's, then that means, for better or worse, I think I trust you for now. And I don't really understand what's going on here, but I know that I was wrong to doubt him when he said we shouldn't set up the carnival here. So I guess I'm stepping into this world, whether I like it or not. Besides, if I decided to walk away from it, I don't know that I would be able to just forget about it. Didn't happen the last time this happened. Don't think it's going to happen this time.
All right, then. And you just sort of like turn where Richard is finished pulling the boards away. Behind it, there, you've got this you've got this metal door that you reach forward and you turn, and it's a little rusty, but it's been used at least relatively recently, you're sure, Richard, because it turns. And you open the door and you begin heading down. There are stairs there that turn a couple of ways and lead down into the basement. So, when you do this, you'll see right now there are no lights. You have flashlights, though.
Mm-hmm.
The light switch doesn't seem to be working for the basement. You head down the stairs. And first thing you note is basically these wooden stairs that go down. You can see the outline. It's a fairly spacious basement. You see the outline of a water heater, of an old water heater, and which doesn't appear to be in use. Concrete floor, bunch of shelves set up just in different places with a bunch of stuff that you can't quite identify on them because right now you're seeing mostly outlines as you're sort of going around. Books maybe, but then medical equipment, the old medical equipment that's kind of out of date. And I'd like the two of you to make notice rolls, please.
Alrighty. Is a 4 a success? I don't remember.
A 4 is indeed a success.
Alright, I'll go with that then.
Okie doke. So, come down and sort of looking around, and you think you kind of hear it before you see it as you're starting to look around. You hear this sort of like something moving. And then in the darkness, a pair of glowing red eyes at about knee level, a little above knee level, come padding out from between a couple of shelves, and you hear and now we're going to cut away for a moment.
Don't open dead inside.
We're going to cut away for just a moment, and I'm going to. I just want to check in up top with Kai and Feldon. Two of you were sitting and having a drink. Where was this that this was taking place? Were you at the bar, or were you somewhere on the carnival grounds or somewhere
it was
else.
Carnival, right?
Yeah, if I remember right, we were in. I don't know if they have tents or like little mobile trailers, but
It's mostly
Kai,
tents. Yeah, the trailers mostly belong to the vendors because a lot of the vendors will just drive here on their own. They just know where the carnival's going to be, and then they'll set up shop. Primarily, the carnival itself, they need to travel light because they're traveling by train and all that. So it's primarily tents, things of that nature. You know, if there are a few like there were a couple of like trailer-like things that were on the train that came off.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
they
it
were
was
in
be in
Kai's tent.
Feldon's office. Oh, Kai's
Or
office.
yeah, Feldon's office. Yeah, Whomstevers.
Yeah. It's basically dressing room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
Yeah. Was there so at this point, do you I just want to know, just get a general idea of if there is anything else you are doing this year. Sooner or later, some of the carnies are going to say hi. So I just want to know if you are trying to do something in particular, or if you're just sort of hanging out, or what do you want to do?
Kai was showing Feldon the photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah. We done that. Outside of that,
Yeah.
I mean, I think Feldon did clock that Richard was heading over to the hospital. So if they take an exorbitant amount of time, he'll probably get worried about them. But we're probably quite a bit away from that.
Yeah.
All right. So
Other than that, I consider pretty much just shooting shit.
I do want
All
to
right.
talk with Piper at some point.
okay. No, that's totally we
But
can we
Piper,
can be doing
Piper
that.
wouldn't be performing today. Piper would be performing tomorrow,
Not today,
right?
No, Piper's been getting ready. You are going to as you're sort of, you've been sitting there in your tent. You'll see the sort of the flap kind of opens, and you see Wolfgang Adler, who is the strong man, just sort of kind of who's been out sort of posing for pictures and such. And he comes in and he's just sort of ducks in for a second. He's like, "You've seen those fellows out there?"
You have to be a
Who?
bit more specific.
I suppose so. There are a couple of folks. Looks like there's a man with a suit and a clipboard who's going around, and he's got a photographer with him. And there's also a Texas Ranger, I think, at the just standing on the outskirts of the thing, is arguing with the police chief.
Kai's going to give Feldon a very disturbed look.
You
Who do you want to tackle?
You deal with the ranger. I'll find Piper and deal with Mr. Clipboard.
Yes, someone also needs to tell Maxine that they're here.
Yeah, I mean the people in the photographer was quite nice, actually. She came around, she's taking pictures, but it was strange, just to she's not the only one, actually. There's some other folks in here.
Were any of them our lovely, landowner who we're living on the good graces of?
Is that what's that fella? Taylor.
Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, my understanding is that I think eventually he went and has talked to Maxine, and then I haven't seen him since.
All right.
Your folks all right?
Everything is absolutely splendid, Wolfgang.
Everything is just peachy.
Is that any chance you got any nuts left there?
Yeah, take some.
Danke. He
Did that.
tosses it back, slams it down. All right, well, just holler if you need me, and he will turn around, sort of
Well,
sort of
I happen to
arches
know
back.
that Richard is out of area, so if we need security, we might be turning to you for the time being.
Well, I'm sure that. And he says, well, but of course, though I don't want to step on John's toes too much. Seems to be, he seems to know, seems to be doing all right. Although he's perhaps not so sure how to how to deal sometimes with the law enforcement. Yeah. Right. Well, I shall be around. And so he turns and will and stomps back out.
All right, here we go. And Richard is just going to grab his camera, sling it on, and go hunt down the Texas Ranger. I mean, Kai. That's what Kai said. Sorry.
Yeah, you may want to. God, and he kind of pinches his bridger's nose for a second. If the Texas Ranger that clocks that camera might be a problem, be careful.
It's just a camera. Just like you don't really do magic, right, Feldon?
Yeah, but I can talk my way out of it a lot better than you can.
Oh, trust me. He's going to shoot James a wink and head out the door.
Okay.
Feldon will take one last little and head out to go find Piper.
Okay. So let's see. That is. Yeah, we'll go ahead there. Let's go ahead and go to that next. Let's go ahead and follow you as you're doing that. Piper, where did you go after you spotted the people standing at the edge of the carnival grounds?
Yeah, so last time she checked in with Petrie and just started like practicing and stuff. So I assume that she's still just like walking and perusing around the carnival grounds, like just doing various things that she would normally do before a performance. There's also probably, I would assume that she has like some sort of a understudy for when she's like working for Maxine in this sort of way. So she's probably just like giving pointers to her understudy and just being like, oh, no, don't do it like that, hon. You got to do it like this. And like, kind of making sure it's all in order for when she needs to step away.
Yeah, she's trying. Yeah, she's she actually knows what she's doing. I'm not going to say she's fumbling with stuff, but she did. She'll sometimes be like trying to touch. She's this little. I imagine there's this little ring that she likes to use. Lights and like only the portions with the fluid on it will light up, and she tosses that into the air. And catches it, and she once or twice she's like, it's a little gets a tiny bit burned, but she's got it for the most part. And
yeah, she's like, it'll be fine. He'll be good. It'll be fine.
I got it. She has a lot of enthusiasm, I think, probably more than anything else. She will, but she's got the fire eating down, so she's figured that part out. So that's that at least fairly decent. Apparently it's all apparently about breath control. I discovered recently, but there's it's remarkable. We've been wandering around the fairgrounds. You're going to see, so you've kind of been kind of wandering around sort of the Etta, the funnel cake vendor, has been fairly mobbed. But you're able to kind of sort of wander past at a point where there aren't that many people there, and she's gonna wave to you. You haven't actually had a chance to say hi to her tonight yet, and so she's just sort of like Etta Morales. She's she's actually like in her 60s. She's been trying, and she's just sort of like hands the last customer, which you see it's like this guy with this kind of you see this guy carrying a strange kind of, in one hand he's got like on poles this weird kind of camera, that he's got up on top of it, and he's got that kind of slung over one shoulder, and he picks up the funnel cake, and he's wearing glasses, he's got his kind of hair slicked back. He says, "Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that." And he turns and he will take the funnel cake and he will wander over to a picnic table, and Ed is just going to kind of put her hands on the counter for a second, and she's going to be like, "It's you think you see all kinds. When you think you see all kinds, you do this long enough, and but you keep. There are always more kinds." How you doing?
You're telling me. You don't gotta tell me twice, girl. What's got you bothered?
She just kind of like will lean forward, and she kind of will tilt her head toward the guy that just left. She's like, that fellow was doing something. The fellow was doing something that with that camera. We had sort of set it. He'd set it up. That thing's it's got like a tripod, and it's kind of like a movie camera, but not. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but it's got all kinds of weird things on it, and he's just sort of stood in the middle of the fairgrounds for like 10 minutes before he stood with that thing before he came up.
You don't say.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if Kai knows anything about that. I'm not too good with tech myself, but who knows? Maybe he's just a carnival connoisseur. Maybe he just really likes being in environments like this. Who knows? Like you said, there's a bunch of wackadoos all over the place. Best not to pay him any mind.
Yeah, she nods. Tell me about it. Hope you're doing all right. And she looks up. Lord Feldon. Hey. Actually, I think that Etta probably calls you James. She's been around here forever.
Lord Feldon is indeed very much a stage name.
Yeah. So she's like, James. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Looking for Piper, actually. Thought I'd find you here. You get one yet, or I have to wait a moment?
Oh no, I got one. By all means, I just wanted a bite here.
Two funnel cakes materialized mysteriously on top of the counter during that exchange.
Yeah. She immediately takes a small handful of it and delicately puts it in her mouth and then offers you the rest of the plate. I just wanted a bite.
No. It's for you today. How's your little protege coming along, by the way?
She needs work. We'll get there, but she's good enough to study for now, so she'll step in since we're busy, but afterwards I really gotta nail down some of these things with her. It's fine. She'll be fine.
I keep telling you, I should do better if you structured it within the account structure like a dance. I mean, not everyone has such natural talent like you.
I gotta remember that. Thank you.
What was that, Jim?
So she's standing in the background and her hand just bursts into flames and she's like...
That's not ideal.
She's putting it out.
Oh, I get it now. Gotta...
Well, it's fine. She'll learn. One way or another, she'll learn.
Anyway, we have some visitors that I figured we might want to have the investigatory group together for. I don't know where Willa is, but Kai is going to go talk to the Texas Ranger.
Fun. Awesome. Great. It's not like we didn't have enough problems enough already. Okay, well, what do you suppose we do then?
Well, there's some other individuals as well. I was going to grab you and then try to engage them directly and head on with glorious, flourishing words, as you know, is my only tact.
Of course, yes. That makes sense. I don't quite remember, but I know Willa and Richard went somewhere together. They're off somewhere in town.
Well, Richard went to the hospital, so that if they went somewhere together, most likely that was it.
Yeah, she's there too.
That's probably safe for now. No one died last time we went there.
Yeah, I mean, the hospital would be the place to be if anything did happen to him, right?
I wouldn't go that far.
Eh, either way, yeah, we better get everyone together soon if people are snooping around. I don't feel quite comfortable with that, knowing there's other things happening.
And Feldon goes like, "God dang, I just realized, fuck. We need to get back to Kai."
Oh, well then, yeah, let's go. I'll run off with you. She's fine. She'll be fine. And one that she takes like another cursory glance over at her.
She's like, yeah, you see her, she's like, you see her lowering, you see her lowering a rod of fire into her mouth, and then she's like, and then she just sort of looks, sees you looking at her, and she's like, she waves. She seems fine. Every time she seems to burn herself, she seems okay. That's the weird part. Well, not really weird, but it's.
Piper's just like, she's like, she'll learn. It'll be fine. She'll learn.
Were you ever covered in burns?
Countless. I'm gonna give myself a heart attack if we don't get a move, Feldon. Let's go.
All right. And Feldon's going to pull you along a little bit and kind of behind a tent, and he's going to actually trace a little diamond in the air, almost like that, like the diamond suit card you might see, and going to attempt to invoke a spell called Conceal Arcana on himself.
Ooh. Excellent.
Ha! Dice rolls. Okay, we good.
Excellent. Good. Cool. All right. Yeah, no, success.
Just barely. And then we're going to go off to find Kai, I think.
Okay, well, let's head over to Kai. So, Kai, you have not had much trouble finding this Texas Ranger because he's just sort of standing at the edge of things, just kind of surveying the whole thing. You note that not too far, just these other. You see a little distance off. You see these other two people that he brought with him, who are just looking around at different things in the carnival. The woman is taking pictures, and the man is just sort of writing things down. You step up. This is an older gentleman. He has a massive mustache, with the ends very heavily waxed and pulled up. He smiles as you approach, and he's got this big star on his duster, as brown duster, and he tips his cowboy hat to you, and just nods.
Kai is going to make sure his camera is obviously closed. Like the lens cap is well, there's no lens cap at this point, but the lens is shuttered. Like the top view is down. It's obviously not functioning, and he's just going to slide up to this guy. And, my name's Mordecai. I'm with the carnival. Can I ask what you're doing around here, sir? Ranger, I guess is the appropriate term.
Yeah, Captain Dumont. He takes out his. He shows his badge. This is Max Salem's Carnival of Traveling Curiosities. Yeah.
The one and the same, yeah.
He just sort of nods around. Fascinating. You know that there's been reports of difficulty with certain of the wildlife in this area. You've had any trouble with that?
Give me a second to look at my sheet. Is there any way I can do a notice, like a notice roll to see if he's like in on the occult or no?
You can make a notice roll just to see what he's, to get his demeanor.
Yeah. Yeah, give me a second. I have to roll real dice today. Yikes. 19?
Okay, which die did you get that on? Did you get that on the wild die or on the notice die?
I got it. I rolled a D. Wait, give me a second here. That was the wrong dice. Much better. Okay. 5. So no.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a success. Okay. And so yeah, basically the yeah, you think that he's definitely hinting at there being something else when he's saying that. You can tell he's fishing for information.
Kai's just going to smile at him. Oh, we've had some trouble, Captain, but quite frankly, nothing that we can't handle. We're very self-reliant people, Carnies.
That's what I heard. I heard that in particular about this particular carnival. It's got quite a history, you know.
In this town or just around? Because I'd like to hear
just in general. Just in general goes back to the mid to late 1800s, from what I researched, and it's been around, seen a lot of things, from what I understand. And well, I'm just saying that that led to a couple of other lights coming on back at the field office, and so there was a certain amount of just a bit of checking we realized that some folks would need to do, just with this newly formed. And he sort of just gestures to the two people in suits. Farm securities folks just might need to come out, as there's been there have been some environment concerns for around the environment around here, because there's a there's been some dust storms sighted. We just want to make sure everything here is up to snuff for it, as it were. You got to travel. You got a lot of tents here. It's could be disastrous. Anything strikes, I'm saying.
I understand. We recently just came to the Midwest, so we saw quite a few dust bowls and quite a few windstorms over there as well.
I see. I see. Yeah.
May I be honest, Captain? I grew up hearing stories from my father and my uncles about their adventures in the West, and I've never met a Texas Ranger in person. So I was wondering, with your permission, could I get a portrait of you with my camera?
Please make a persuasion roll.
I'm living for this.
1 10 in total.
Okay. Yeah, he'll be like, well, I'd be honored. What was your name again?
Mordecai Keller, and he's gonna hold out his hand for a handshake.
Mordecai Keller, and he clasps. He has a big meaty fist, and he will clasp your hand. Yeah, Captain Reginald Dumont, and he will, as he just sort of nodding and watching. You set up your camera. I think it's while you're setting up your camera that Piper and Feldon are going to find you. Piper and Feldon, you see these two folks just coming around to the guy. It looks like he's looking at the different tents and the different trailers, vehicles are out here. And the woman, again, she's taking pictures of different things. That's mainly what you're seeing right now. And then, of course, you see the you see the ranger, and Kai is apparently setting up to take his picture.
Yeah, Kai is maneuvering him to get the best lighting and the best background because he would like to get the ranger. It's like she's trying to plan this shot so that way, if anything shows up, he wants to be able to get the landscape behind the ranger, like the weird, creepy way where all the Feminites come from.
Yeah. I try to pull him around to kind of where you can get inside of the tent city, and out here, you've got a good view of the whole landscape here.
Okay.
And so definitely.
Yeah, he's going to capture a couple of shots.
Okay. Actually, go ahead and make a smarts roll for me while you are doing that, just so that I get an idea for the for what you for the type of shots you're getting. It's a D10 and a D6, and whichever one is higher.
While we're walking up, Piper's just gonna like lean over to Feldon and just be like,
Hold up, one fell.
The photo of anyone. He gets anyone to pose for him.
That's vanity. We're all human, aren't we?
That was an 11 for my smarts.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, so it's a good. You're getting some very good shots, which we will look into later. So Kai is basically doing that, finishing up, and the ranger just sort of nods, just sort of sees the both of you coming up and nods.
Feldon, Piper, do you recognize that ranger?
Do I recognize the ranger?
I don't think
the guy with the camera, or either one of the other two people as well that Etta had kind of mentioned. There was a guy with a camera. Does that also look like one of the other people too?
Actually, yeah, that was a different person that you saw. There are 3 people with cameras running around at least tonight. One of them being Kai, one of them that guy who picked up the funnel cake, and then a woman in a business suit.
Okay. But does the ranger look familiar to me, to answer Feldon's question?
I think.
You got a clock
I don't know
on
if anyone else saw him at the time that things happened, but I will let you make a common knowledge roll just in case. You might have caught a glimpse of him during the previous thing that happened.
I will not roll that. I will not roll that because it would make no sense for me to ask that question if I recognized him.
Got a 5.
Vaguely. You think you have, now that you're closer, you think you have seen him before. You think that he has visited the carnival before. But you did not know specifically what his business was.
I have no idea where, but I have seen his face before, if that helps at all.
Feldon's going to kind of divert and go towards the people who are the farm security individuals. Not that he knows that yet, but he doesn't want to talk to the ranger.
Yeah. Sure. And,
my good fellows, enjoying the carnival.
And the man will just kind of will be sort of look up from. Yes, no, it's decent. I'm just hoping everything is going to be okay here. You realize, I think that these were these tent stakes struck this evening?
These are our tents?
Yeah.
Well, I do believe so. I didn't do that myself, but if you would like that verifiably ascertained, I could do that.
It's just kind of the thing being that we've got there are a few regulations that are coming into play now that we want to make sure for that folks are going to be safe, because I don't know if you are aware that this is that they're thinking that this is that storms are going to bleed into this region sometime in the next few days.
Well, we should be out of the area by then.
All right. So how long is the carnival staying? You know?
Well, we usually stay through the weekend, so 2 more nights.
Okay. All right. Might do it. Yeah, it's hard to tell with these weather patterns. We're learning more about them all the time, but it's
going to have
these have been less predictable than a lot of the ones in the past that are coming up. We just want to make sure everybody is going to be safe. If you have people bringing their families out here, you understand.
Of course. Is there something that we are being found inadequate of? Do we need to move? Or do we need to stake deeper? Is there a problem here that we can solve for you?
Might possibly need to stake deeper. We're gonna have to take a few more measurements just in case. We just want to make sure that you're set. Who's your who do you have here in charge of that?
Well, the person who owns the land is the local, but if you're talking about who's in charge of setting up the spaces, I could talk to them for you.
Well, yeah. If you could just, if you could just point me to them, I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to chat with them. I just need to make sure that we're good.
Who is in charge of that?
Trudy Tam, the lead roustabout.
There you go.
Oh, as this is going on, did he introduce himself in the beginning of the conversation? Did I miss that?
The man with the clipboard? No,
Yeah.
He hasn't actually said his name yet.
Okay, Piper's gonna kind of like pop up very cutely behind Feldon and just be like, "Oh, hi there! It's so good to see another visitor. Your name?"
Oh, I'm sorry, Gerald Preston. I'm with the Farm Securities Administration.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you, Gerald. It like my dear friend Feldon here is saying, is there a problem? I think the woman who you're looking for is a tad bit busy. Is there anything that we could help with?
Well, I just got to. I don't think that thus far from what I've seen, I don't think we're in too much trouble. It's hard sometimes when you're setting up these these kind of you've got some of the stakes off the ground and some of them are going on the concrete, and I just want to make sure that you're going to be okay if a dust storm comes through.
Absolutely, and I understand your concern 100%. I will go through personally and make sure everybody moves their tent where it needs to be for you. Would that help at all?
You have time for that, Piper?
She just
sorry.
like hits his.
I feel as though I'm getting the sense that it's time for a persuasion roll.
Okay. All right.
I'm horrible.
Okay, he's a Benny.
Well, here, let me, now is an excellent time for me to say something that I failed to say at the top. So, times are getting interesting here. Our investigators uncovered a lot last time, and we are now at the point that they have just begun to attract the attention of the servants of the Reckoners. Those beings responsible for all the woe in the Deadlands universe. So fate is shifting a bit. Things are going to get a little bit rougher. What that means is they're not getting any more starting bennies. Not right now. Now, the bennies that you grant them, the crits that you grant them, can be turned into bennies. So if you choose to pledge those, then they'll have those available for rerolls. And that's one of the things that happens now. Those are the crit successes. Crit fails, of course. Well, at some point we can, if you've got one, you can call it out at some point if you decide you'd like to fail at something. But sooner or later, if you don't, I will. Same actually goes for that one up there. If I don't use this by a certain point, folks can feel free to call me out on it if I'm rolling. So let's see what we've got.
This is a grand time to mention. This is a grand dimension. We hit our retweet goal for this
Oh.
session, so feel free to give us some sort of help, Jim.
Clues are forthcoming. Excellent. Good to know.
I feel bad
Excellent.
knowing that the last time we got help for a plot reveal was Willa can see dead people. Who wants to have an identity crisis today?
Yeah, I feel like that's what's in store. So, heck yes, I'm here for it.
Excellent. All right. So, Viper has successfully has used one of has used a Benny, basically basically transformed one of her crits into a Benny, and yes, we have you have made a success with a raise. So he's like, okay, no, that would be just fine, and he turns and he turns to the woman there who's still taking pictures. Penelope, I think we can I think we can go ahead and just funnel it through this individual. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
My name is Piper. It's nice to meet you. And she like holds out her hand.
And the woman will be, oh hi, Penelope Hadley, and she shakes your hand. Pleased to meet you. And Preston at this point, Gerald Preston will say, yeah. So yeah, if we can just get that sorted out, that would be great. I've got a list here of things kind of we can go over. If is now a good time?
Perfect. It is just an absolutely perfect time. And she'll like start to walk with him away, like to distract, and just like start to like bring him away from where Kai and Feldon kind of were.
Absolutely. Okay. So yeah, so you do that, and they follow you. They will take
Yeah,
you
like I did the
wherever
cute
you
little
want to go.
around yeah, like
Yeah.
let's walk and talk.
So, yeah, Feldon, you're there alone. You see that Kai has finished taking pictures of the ranger. At least at the moment. I don't know. Have you finished taking pictures of the ranger?
I do want to say really quickly, as Piper is walking away, she kind of shoots a glance at Feldon over her shoulder, kind of just being like I'm trying, like I'm gonna get them out of here, sort of look, and then just like starts laughing again and like smiling and leaves the guy off.
Yeah. Yes. So the yeah. Oh hey, we've got a raid. We got two raids simultaneously. Simul raidery. Greetings, one and all. We have an Ariand and Gift Nova. Thank you very much for the raids. It is much appreciated. Clues are about to come forth. I'll get those in shortly. So yes, Kai has finished taking pictures of the ranger. What do you want to do with this? He's basically now he's kind of going down. He says, "So I do actually want to know if your administrator is around." And he says looking he's been glancing around the whole time. Miss Francis, Miss Wilhelmina Francis.
I'm afraid she actually is not here at the moment. She's gone off with the head of our security to deal with some issues.
Oh, all right then. Well, suppose I can just hang around for a while.
You know?
Feldon will pipe up. I was actually planning on heading out to help with that problem if you'd like me to take a message.
A problem? What kind of problem?
The security issue that they ran off to deal with that my good friend Mordecai just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
That security. Oh, I see.
Internal
You,
carnival business, vendor disputes. You know how these things go.
Please make a persuasion roll. And the thing is, this NPC, I actually will be. I'm going to be rolling for this NPC his smarts against you.
Is there any way Mordecai could help?
Yes. You can. Also, if you want, you can roll persuasion for every success you get on your roll. That will increase Feldon's by +1.
Yeah.
Will increase his result.
1 fell, sorry. 9.
These things happen.
Okay. So you got a 9.
What do
So
I
that's
do?
a +2. So Feldon, you're going to be rolling persuasion, and you get a +2.
Cash money. So 13.
Awesome. Okay, let me just make a roll real quick over here. For Capitan Dumont. I got an 11. He's just shy of you.
Whew, thank you, Mordecai.
And, he will he'll sort of narrow his eyes and say, all right, so administrative stuff then.
I don't have the precise details. Yeah.
Honestly, it involves quite a lot of paperwork and pencil pushing. That's something neither of us are really about.
And
Well-
Feldon will pull out a smoke and offer it to him.
Thank you. I'm trying not to while I'm on duty, but I appreciate it.
Reasonable.
I'll just hang around for a bit then, and then hopefully they'll get all that sorted out sometime tonight.
Feldon will make that cigarette look so good.
It does look good. As and
Sure. It's fine if you'd rather just wait, but I'm sure that the response will be much more expeditious if you let them know how urgent it was.
I just want to roll a reaction roll, which is just I'm combining these two things. Oh, not great. Okay. He's like, well, son, I appreciate it, but no, I honestly got I've punished my lungs enough over the years. I think I'm just trying to making sure I cut down. I do appreciate your offer. And he just sort of is narrowing his eyes as he's looking you up and down.
So,
This,
no message you
What
want me
kind
to
of act you
take
do?
your... Oh, I'm a carnival magician. Peddler of cheap tricks. It's all very fun.
oh yeah, you. When's your show?
Sideshow act, so we'll be performing most of tomorrow.
I have to make sure I come in and take a look at that.
Lord Feldon, it's a magical experience. So don't want me to bring anything over to our security people?
He sort of looks around and he says, "Well, no, this is nothing immediately urgent. So
All
it's not life and death or anything. Provided they're provided of course that everything's all right with Miss Francis, but should be fine."
Right. Well, Kai, our business is a little expeditious. We should get on, give them back up before Wolfgang, has a cow or lifts one.
Yes, absolutely.
You sort of cut to Wolfgang lifting up two small children.
Yeah.
On this little platform. some of the
Kai
next
snapped
couple
a
of
picture of
tutorials.
that real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, yeah.
And Feldon's going to try to take Mordecai back through the carnival, nab Piper if we can, and then exit kind of roundabout so this guy doesn't see us heading towards the hospital. That's Feldon's intention.
Kai is
All
just
right,
gonna
so you're going to aim toward doing that, and we will come back to you
Yeah.
in just a little bit. Now is the time, as we have yet another raid coming in. Thank you, Tokyo One Kenobi.
Thank you.
And for your gift of raidery, we must come around now. That's right. I need to. Let's see. Yes. More stuff is about to. More lore is about to spill out for those retweets. So let us get to that, and that's going to happen in the basement. I think. So back to the basement. Back to the basement we go. We are down underneath the hospital. It's very cold. It feels almost like there's a light breeze down here somehow. And a creature that is currently in the dark, but you can see its red eyes glowing. And it's standing there, and it's just kind of growling.
Gonna regret this, but Richard will shine
cannot-
his flashlight on it.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it look like a
I'm
feminite?
gonna regret this.
It does not.
They're both going
Um,
to, but
It's too
it's
small.
okay.
He said it was like roughly like waist high. Yeah.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Oh, it's a child.
Don't be
thing,
Octavia.
right?
Please don't
no.
be Octavia.
Please don't be
so
equal
scared
zombie
right
child.
now. Oh God.
I can't do zombie
It
child.
is.
Zombie child.
It is dog shaped.
Oh, it's worse.
It's
And,
dog shaped.
You see that it has very sharp teeth, and it is covered in chains, and it has glowing red eyes, and it's just sort of standing there. Its jagged teeth kind of not coming out per se. It's standing there staring at you, and I need both of you to make spirit rolls for your fear checks.
Can I take it back? Can we have the zombie child instead?
Nope, too late.
So I believe
fatigue.
that my what's it called? Strong-willedness. Yeah, it gives me +2 to my spirit rolls, so I need to make sure is that actually automatically added in. Is it?
Let me see.
I don't think it was added.
I don't think it is. Yeah, I'm looking at what I'm seeing here, and I don't think it's automatically added in.
Okay, so I
so-
rolled a 4 on the die, but it's a total of 6 because I am strong-willed.
Yeah.
Knew that would
Yeah.
be good.
I'm going to use a Benny on that.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Benny is being
Transform a crit
used.
into a Benny.
Please. Oh, okay.
Ah, that's-
I got it.
that's
Okay.
better.
Just it.
You're looking for 4s. Good, excellent.
Your dog covered in chains. I ain't afraid of no
So,
your dog covered
Yeah,
in
I
chains.
need to roll for Lazarus. And he just made it. You are the three. So you're down there, and you see this thing, and it just sort of stands there, and it's watching you. And it sort of
Sometimes
pads
I
out
feel like-
into the main kind of. See, there's shelves, and then you've got sort of this main way through toward the rest of the basement, and it's now standing there in the middle of that, standing in
So
the
is it
way.
actively chained up, or it's just covered in chains?
No, it just has chains on it. This
Mm.
thing
Does this
is not normal.
does it seem like it's just guarding something, or is it like ready to attack us and rip out our throats?
It
Is
does.
it
It
standing
looks,
over something or near something?
yeah, it looks like it's actually it's blocking the way.
Okay.
So it looks like it is probably guarding the back half of the basement.
Okay. I'm assuming we probably want to get past this thing, but
Richard would just kind of like look over at Lazarus and be like, do you know what this is?
Yeah, it's a
yeah, does not seem like a
Hellhound.
normal dog.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but it literally does not seem like it's a normal dog.
Yeah.
It's
We have to get past it.
well, that's the thing, is that they run really fast. You've I don't suppose you got any anything like you got any holy water or anything like that on you, do you?
Nope.
No, I
People,
could.
I'd expect you to have that.
Yeah, you'd think they'd have given me some.
I think I could try something, but I don't know if it's gonna work.
I think I might have a backup just in case.
Okay.
Right. Doesn't seem like it wants to attack, so it's probably mostly just gonna try at us if we go past whatever it's whatever it's been called for. So I'm guessing if we try to get past it. What do you got?
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try it. And you just see Willa close her eyes and just like take a deep breath. And then in her mind, she's just gonna think this thought at the dog. That's like, we're not here to hurt you. We just want to go behind where you are. Will you please let us pass and not kill us? She's just thinking that thought really hard at the dog.
Well, now is the time to roll focus.
Yes, yes, unlimited powers. No, just kidding. Oh yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's real good.
Exploding egg.
Hell yeah.
So, just so I'm clear, I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing for how this thing you have used, what this thing is that you have used, because I
yes, I used the mind link.
Okay.
So I believe that means that I can talk to it with my mind for 30 minutes.
Yeah, mind telepathic connection to individuals. The link accommodates only willing subjects, committing all the thoughts are consciously transmitted. Range is 1 mile. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and I
okay.
think I got a raise, so 5 miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
All right. So yeah, it's gonna sort of sit down and it's going to communicate back to you.
Great.
I cannot let you pass.
Why can't you let us pass?
They will hurt me.
Who's they?
Those who summoned me here. I am bound to perform this task for them. I am bound to guard this place.
What exactly is it?
Be here.
What is it that you're protecting for them?
They have created a ritual that they would be making use of. I am not sure precisely what it does. It connects to a way to the hunting grounds. It is a thing they will be using soon, but not today, I do not think. They have not told me exactly what they are doing.
Do you know if... Okay, first of all, that's just rude. Second of all, do you know if there's anything that we can do to stop it?
Perhaps. Why would I tell you this? Why would it matter to me?
Because then you could just leave and not be forced to stay in this creepy old basement all the time guarding something, and I don't know what.
He stops for a second. You will get them to release me.
Yes.
And
Sure.
we will. Very well. The deal is made.
Oh,
Cool.
you just signed a deal.
So I would like
So
to say
casual,
at this point,
too. So casual.
I don't think that Willa realizes that she's been saying her half of the conversation out loud this whole time. So all you've heard is just that half of it. She's not really used to this whole like telepathy thing.
Funnily
So you've
enough,
only
the
heard
two
her
people
half
you
of it, and then
are.
that's whatever the dog is. I don't know.
I cannot let you pass, but I can show you what is back there.
Okay, I think that would probably be good, right? We want to see what's back there, and she'll just look at Richard and Lazarus and be like, "Yeah, we want to know what it's
Sure.
guarding." Yes, we would like to see what is there.
And so you see it closes its eyes for a moment, and slowly the lights come on.
Oh, magic dog.
And you can see that the back of the you can now see the back of the basement from where you are. You can see that there is now Richard, you see that the back of the basement appears to be empty for the most part. There's like an old, there's like an ice box, an old ice box, and some a few other things under tarps. But you see that there is an area in the back wall of the basement that has got a kind of a ring of these more symbols that are marked into it. Now, Willa sees this as well, but in addition, on all of the furniture and other sitting on the shelves, and also in just sort of hanging around, standing, talking to each other, you see about a couple dozen children
Oh,
They all look
great.
very pale. There was like no sign of them before, and you can't hear them, but you can see them.
Oh my god. I think she just sort of like takes a sort of a shocked step back and then looks. Is that just me again? Anybody else? No?
But there's
Okay.
there's a bunch of symbols back.
You're seeing, seeing stuff?
I think it's keeping them in. It's keeping them there.
I would, I'd be just gonna look over to Lazarus. That would fit with what you told me about the symbols keeping things in. There was another one of them up on the door frame up there.
Yeah, well, if this is, this confirms what I was suspecting. I think I know who did this. Well, in general, not the specifics of who they are, but I think I know who might be down here in this town.
Okay, so
this.
definitely not a creature. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's. I'll catch you up later. Well, Willa, you said you were having a conversation with it. What's did it say who it works for, or something of the sort?
I don't think it could. All it said was that it couldn't let us pass because it had been summoned here to guard that ring that has all the kids in it back there. Which, by the way, do I notice if Octavia is among them?
She is not.
She's not? Okay, because she was trying to get into the basement, and I was like, oh no, did she get trapped inside the creepy child soul circle of two? Big fluffy dog? So yeah.
And to be clear, the circle's against the back wall, so it's not actually like surrounding the children per se.
Oh, right, okay.
It's
it
inside
said
of them.
that there was going to be some kind of ritual happening, and that if we wanted to stop the ritual, this creature would help us in exchange for letting it go, which seems what?
I don't know if I don't know if we want to let that thing go.
So I kind of maybe already agreed that we would accept its help. So I think.
Let me try something. I might be able to get some more information. And he'll just kind of like look at it and focus. And I'm going to attempt to cast mind reading.
Oh, look at you, so advanced.
Look at that. So I assume I have to trigger the roll first. Yay! I cast. And now it's an opposed smarts roll against it.
Ah, okay.
If I win, I get a truthful answer from the subject.
Little did you know, the dog is actually wickedly intelligent.
Well,
Might be.
Kind of. Maybe he is. Nope. So, well, first off, do you want to try to many that to make it to try to beat the 9, or because now it's a question of like back and forth if you decide you want to do that, but that's up to you.
Mm-hmm. So I got a 9's pretty good.
Actually, well, what did I get?
Well, and you get to choose if you.
I rolled a
d6
d6 that didn't show up there. That's weird.
Oh, that's odd.
Another some setting you can use to hide it.
Yeah, I rolled 6 on the casting.
Yeah, you rolled 6 on the. Did you also roll smarts? Because I thought that was me.
I did roll smarts, yes.
Okay.
Let
me roll smarts then.
Okay.
That's not very much. Yeah, you got it.
All right. Question I will ask is, who summoned you?
One moment. Stand by. Processing. It doesn't say that. That would be very strange.
Hellhound.exe is not responsive.
The little beach balls come up into its eyes. No. Let's see. Westbrook.
Westbrook?
I'll look over at Lazarus. Does the name Westbrook mean anything?
Fran Westbrook?
I asked who. Oh, I kind of gleaned who summoned it, and it said Westbrook.
Fran Westbrook's upstairs. She's the head nurse.
Well, that's something. Pretty sure she summoned this thing, which means she's in on whatever's going on here.
Can you ask it why? Well, I guess it already told me it doesn't know. It's just brought here.
And you can tell it's just sort of like it's gritting its teeth. And Willa, you will hear, "This intrusion is not a welcome one."
All right. Well, considering that we offered to help you get out of here when this is all over, I think maybe we'll just take our leave and leave you alone now, and we'll come back later. Thanks for your help, I guess. Walks away towards the entrance. Bye.
It waves. No,
She's
it
very much the attitude of like when you hear a dog that like won't just stop barking, and you're just like, yeah, all right, okay.
Actually, although you do, as you're sort of ascending the stairs and sort of leaving it, you do kind of hear.
Oh, puppy.
As you're heading up the stairs, Lazarus will say, "All right, no, I recognized I've finally seen enough symbols now based on those ones on the back, if those are what I think they are. We've had suspicions for a while that there is essentially a cult, that there are covens of black magicians coming out of those who follow black magic, I should say, coming out of that seem to work in the structure of the Hexaco company."
Oh my God, Hexaco?
Yeah. They're it was founded. It was founded by someone who was claimed to be a witch, Mina Devlin. She ran and owned one of the rail companies back in the 1800s. When it divested, it bought up and started. They got into oil around the 1890s, I want to say. And we don't know how far the conspiracy goes, but the fact that there is a Hexaco plant less than 10 miles from here, would kind of indicate that this has probably been a presence in this town for some time.
Yeah.
Whenever the mine failed, they swept in and saved the town, as it were. Economically, at least, but they've had a lot of time to get their people in place, so they could be anybody.
I have a feeling I know who one of them might be. That old lady with the red scarf.
Yeah, it was probably one of them. She
One that was hanging out. Yep.
From what it seems, the
Probably.
head nurse is probably in on it.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, at this rate, couldn't it literally be anyone? I mean, I don't really know anything at all about any of this.
Well, as you have reached the top of the stairs, we're going to pan quickly to the entrance to the hospital.
Uh-oh.
Where I believe it is Feldon and Kai and Piper. You all went. You all went at this point? Yeah. Let's go back a little bit. So, Feldon and Kai, you found Piper. Piper, what did you do with the FSA people that you were leading around?
I just led them away. I just wanted to distract them and get the photographer away from where she was taking pictures. So like I just wanted to like walk them literally in like any opposite direction that wasn't important and just try to like chat with them and occupy their time as best as I could while they went to deal with the ranger.
Sure, absolutely. But they basically are going around to different points and trying to ask you questions. And so I'm just sort of wondering, are you going to try to palm them off on somebody or?
Yeah. So I think she would kind of just like distract them until she saw that the ranger was dealt with by Kai and Feldon, and then she would find Trudy. She would circle around to Trudy and pawn them off to her.
Okay, excellent. So you do that. You basically come around. Trudy is essentially, you find because the tents are set up at this point. You actually know where she is. She is in a tent in the back, playing cards with the other roustabouts. And so when you take her over there, and she immediately will sort of step out, and she will look and she'll take the cigarette out of her mouth, as she's just sort of looks at the two people you're leading around, and she's like, now who the hell are these folks?
Trudy, these are my friends, Gerald and Penelope. They're here with the Farm Security Administration. They just want to ask a couple questions. I've already started fixing things.
You see a farm around here?
As she says that, I think she's going to kind of try and sneak behind the two people and kind of push them forward to answer her crazy questions. And then as they start answering her questions, she's gonna try and dip out.
Yeah, and immediately Gerald immediately will sort of step forward. Miss Tam, yes, I wanted to talk to you about a few things, and she's like, I don't talk to anyone right now unless they're playing poker, and there is an argument that then immediately erupts as you are walking away. And so, yes, you meet up with Kai and Feldon, and you have all started heading to the... and you are all heading into the hospital. You sort of heading down the... You've sort of headed away. Is there anything you wanted to do on the way to the hospital, or are we good?
Remind me to buy Trudy a pack of cigarettes at some point.
She goes through them. She goes through cigarettes almost as quickly as you do.
Almost.
Yeah, almost. And Feldon, as you, I will say, as the three of you are approaching the hospital, you will hear a voice. You will hear your friend's voice. your friend's voice, to sort of say, oh, I believe there was some kind of meetup you wanted to arrange, wasn't there?
Feldon will look over at Piper. Hey, your friend's still around, nearby, present?
Repeat the question one more time, Jin. You kind of cut out on me.
Oh no, this is only Feldon heard this, but this was his friend was asking him that he wanted to set up a meeting of some kind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Feldon just turned to Piper and went, "Hey, is your companion present, nearby, available?"
She'll kind of like have wide eyes for a minute, totally forgetting that was something that they needed to discuss. Can I take a hot look around to see if Maddie is present?
Conveniently nearby.
She's around. You feel her around, but you told her not to appear, so you can't see her right now.
Cool. Well, I mean, if you want her around, I can bring her around.
Looks at Kai. I mean, can we walk and talk?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Excellent. Sorkin mode engaged. So yes, you.
Oh God, that's cut.
So you're heading forth, walking and talking, as the camera is in front of you, slowly just panning backwards as you head toward the hospital.
Maddie, come out.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a visitor, I think.
I have.
Well, we got some visitors.
So this is a little weird because one of you can see one of these people and the other of you can see the other. If, for example, this were on TV and there was a camera on you as you were walking forward, it would see two figures appear behind the two of you. One of them, a woman dressed as in something of an acrobatic sort of outfit that has a phoenix sort of theme to it. The other being a very smoky-looking individual, very hazy, very dark. A lot of sort of a miasma coming off of them with sharp blue eyes. A very sort of ash-colored skin.
Let me try to enable this a little better. And Feldon is going to take a bit of a look around, take a good pull, and just breathe it, the smoke around Piper and Mordecai, and I can expend additional power points to extend the benefits of Detect Arcana to them.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, okay.
Excellent.
You know, so, if I succeed on the roll. We'll see how that goes.
Let's give it a shot.
Oh, that was the wrong button. That feels like I should spend a penny on it, because that's a 2.
Yes.
I'm feeling that as well.
Try again. Okay, good enough to get the spell out. That's the important part.
There you go. Awesome. Okay, so that is.
So I've used a crit.
Yep. So now everyone here, as you're approaching, you're not far from the entrance to the hospital, by the way. But you see the cigarette smoke curls around, and in the smoke these two figures resolve. The figures of Maddie and someone who occasionally, I think, sometimes has called himself Tom. And they kind of look at each other, and Tom will just sort of glance and he just sort of look around and say, "This is delightful. I don't think haven't had this much of an audience for some time."
Can we hear this voice?
You can.
Because I
We
used
can
a
see
spell.
him too.
Shit.
Yeah, Kai. So Kai, you can see Maddie next to me, and you can see the shadowy figure next to Feldon.
Yep.
And you can hear him too.
I got my smoky ass
Hi.
demon on my shoulder.
Kai is going to step back, just try to get the four of them in frame really quick, and snap a shot.
As you do that, Feldon just puts his hand over like, God dear Lord.
Oh, come
As
on,
you-
James.
Maddie is like, and Tom just sort of poses.
What a cutie.
And I think more or less it's going to be at this point that you've just conjured them up here, and inside the hospital, Richard and Willa, you're up in the hallway. The exit to the hospital goes past the front desk, where the head nurse is.
Just act nonchalant. Don't draw
Boy.
attention.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Okay, I would
I
like
don't know
the
what
two
you're
of you-
talking about. I am the least suspicious person in this.
I'd like the two of you to make your nonchalance rolls. So the in this case, that being, let's see, you can use either spirit or persuasion if you have it.
Spirit is better, so I'll do that.
You know,
Oof,
for fun.
I
I think this would be a great moment to use a crit fail. It'd be a fantastic
excellent.
moment to do that.
Well, if you're
All
crit
right.
failing, I guess I might as well too.
I love it.
Because I have one.
Join
Why
us in
not?
failure.
Let's use one of those right
Failure.
now.
All right.
I
Just
think
turn
the
to-
way that I would like to,
You're probably
to
the
crit
most
fail
suspicious
is
people
just,
right now.
yeah, is just like to have some sort of like anime sweat pouring off of me and just
Yeah.
being like, like just breathing very heavily and loudly so that it's very obvious that I'm unsettled by something, but I think I'm fine.
So
I like to think
yeah.
Richard goes to try to like calm you down and then just like trips and eats shit.
Yeah. Fran, the head nurse,
You
at this
trip on
point
the
stands up
sweat that's
and
just pouring.
she looks at the two of you. She's at the two of you, and I mean, I may as well make a roll for. I mean, you two are probably going to draw all attention from Lazarus, but I'll go ahead and I'll make his roll just in case. Oh, he did great. But yeah, you just sort of are like doing that. And Fran, the very nice lady who showed you around the hospital before this morning, stands up, and she's like, "Are you all right? Everything all right, folks?"
Oh, yes, just fine. Hospitals
Can I help you? Can I help
make
you
me a
out?
little
And
nervous
she's sort of-
sometimes, that's all.
Sort of turns over to where Richard has stumbled. What? Yes. Were you here visiting someone? I didn't see you come in.
Yeah.
Yep, we were visiting someone and now we're done. Now we're gonna just go back to our homes.
I see.
There was a kid that a friend earlier, his magician. He wanted to make sure the kids were aware the carnival was here and his act was tomorrow.
I see. She and the friend smiles, and at this point, behind you, the Reverend steps forward and says, "Ah, yes, yes. They're. I was just showing them around a little bit. Friend, it's nothing. It's just a. They wanted to check in on the kids one more time. I hope you don't mind. I didn't break protocol, did I? I'd be very troubled if that happened." And she just sort of looks at him and she's like, "No, it's okay." And she just sort of looks at the two of you and she says, "All right then, just do be careful. Visiting hours are over at this point, so just make sure you check in next time you come to visit us." You see the little sign appear in front of her that says, "Fran will remember this."
I want to fuck with her so badly right now, but I'm not going to. Taking telepathy was a mistake, but it was the best mistake I've ever made.
Yes. So she will let you go, and the two of you step out, and you see just at the end of the walk, you see Kai and Feldon and Piper. And Feldon, since you already made a roll on that spellcasting, if you want, I will let you extend it to these other folks if you so desire. Kai, Piper, and Feldon,
well,
you see Richard and... Yeah.
I'll extend it on to Richard, but I don't think Willa's going to want to, because the perception I have of Willa is pre-incidents in the hospital.
Oh yeah. Also, Willa, there is a.
I don't care.
Yeah. The woman in the Phoenix costume is back, by the way. There also, she's with these other folks too. And you will see that. Yes, so Piper, Kai, and Feldon, you see Richard and Willa step out of the hospital along with what looks like the Reverend Watson, whom I don't think any of you have met per se, but you've seen him from a distance. Today in town.
So,
and the Reverend just sort of looks at. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So if this tech is still up, so as we walk up to these people, they're just all magic now, right? We can detect that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true. You can detect
Richard,
magic.
Willa, and Reverend.
I need to look at the description real quick just to of detect arcana, if you've got that running.
I will
right
say
now.
that the main thing we're brushing against is that the duration is actually quite short compared to it, but I was trying to facilitate a conversation, so I figured it wouldn't matter that much.
Yeah, we're outside of like combat rounds per se, so it's not a big deal. All supernatural persons, objects, or effects in sight. Okay, so yeah, for now this is interesting. There's this indicator that both Feldon has seen before, but Piper and Kai have not seen this before. But there's this sheen coming off of Richard and Willa and Reverend Watson.
Also, notably, I concealed my arcana, so I look normal, despite the fact that I just cast a spell on you.
Yeah. He's fine. It looks like there's... And it's they've got their own sort of looks about it's this strange sheen that there's sort of light, sort of gray sheen coming off of Willa, and you see this kind of light greenish sheen around both Richard and Reverend Watson.
I point to Willa as we're walking up, nonchalantly, and whisper to Feldon, What's going on right there?
Very weird. Very, very weird. Like, Willa?
Watson just sort of turns and he looks at the rest of you. He's like, "Oh, well, I will get back to the church. Actually, there's some there's some research I was going to be doing. He sort of nods and he says,
Demons to banish, exorcisms to do. We understand.
Yes. And he claps Richard on the shoulder. You'll be all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
All right. And he nods to Willa. Pleasure meeting you, ma'am.
Nice to meet you too.
And he turns and he starts heading up the street toward the church.
Richard now seeing, as he said, the shadowy figure behind Feldon, which is oddly enough not the weirdest thing he's seen today. We'll just kind of like look at Feldon, just like point at it, like, what?
Shadowy figures like,
This is Tom, my smoke demon.
pleasure.
Oh, I didn't know you
Alright.
named him Tom.
I didn't name him anything.
Delightful.
And y'all, this is Maddie. And she kind of like uncomfortably looks to Willa when she says that.
Maddie just sort of nods. Hello.
Hi again. So she has a name, huh, Piper?
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like being a terrible, terrible person, I would like Willa to make a common knowledge roll because it occurs to me that that she might know this.
Yeah.
All right. 9.
Oh, okay, you got a raise.
Hey.
This may be a coincidence, possibly. There was a fire performer in the earlier days of the carnival named Maddie Mavel, who actually did, you think, from what you heard, was also did she did a fire act, also possibly wore a phoenix costume. So that is a thing that you remember from looking at various files or and various conversations that you've had with Maxine and other folks.
Does Maxine know that her mom is still traveling with the carnival?
I don't
Like,
know.
who knows about this?
Piper, did you tell anyone that?
No. So the only person that would have had an inclination would probably be Feldon. But beyond that, this is very brand new knowledge for everybody else that she has this sort of friend.
No, what I'm saying is, Piper, did you tell anyone that Maddie is Maxine's mother?
No, she wouldn't.
Oh,
Because
shit.
she just figured that out. Yeah, she just figured that out herself.
Yeah.
So I don't think she would have had time to tell anybody else. And because nobody else knew that she had a friend, I don't think she would have been able to tell anybody. So this is brand new information.
Maxine has spoken of Maddie fondly before, but has not revealed that piece of information just yet.
Unless Willa is smart enough to put 2 and 2 together to make a bold statement, I haven't said.
Maybe, yeah.
I figured that was what the common knowledge roll was for, was to see if she could figure it out. So I assumed that she did.
Yeah,
if we don't want to do that,
yeah, we could go with that. Yeah. Actually, if you've looked at records like that, actually, we'll say that you've, that is, you do know that is Maxine's mother.
Well,
So sorry.
no. To answer your question honestly and truthfully, no.
Maddie's just like, oh, wonderful. Oh.
Right.
Yes, she does.
Oh. So you told her.
She does.
Yes, I talk to her all the time.
Like this? Like, just how? What?
Well, she knows I'm there, but I don't appear to her. I haven't appeared to her. I mean, she still has, she's had for quite a. When she was in her 20s, I didn't even do that much. But it's as she's gotten older, she's gotten more into better understanding of these things, and she kind of knows I'm around, but she doesn't. I don't try to be around her too much because I don't, it can be kind of painful for her. It's also painful for me.
I don't know how that goes.
I don't mean to be a quick to change the subject here, and she'll point to Feldon and look directly at him and just be like, "Can we discuss the demon behind you? Because I don't have a demon."
On that note, as far as this goes, I think nice that we're having a conversation. We need to. Let's just not have it here. Let's get somewhere safer.
Maybe somewhere over spirits.
It's probably a good idea, honestly.
Yep.
Oh, come on, that was hilarious.
That was great. No, that was great. Just in character, I'm like, whoa.
I didn't notice. So I'm just gonna say Richard didn't notice because he's very set on one thing right now.
I've been thinking about that since last week. I still can't believe Hexaco went over my head, though. Very well played. Well played.
They put the strangest thing in this setting.
Oh, good.
What?
Where are we walking to?
That's a good question.
Pub?
Yeah, I forgot who figured out where the speakeasy type place.
That would be Mordecai.
Yeah, I
was. Okay.
I'm a visit.
Alternatively, go to the hotel. Those seem like the two places.
Yeah, everyone knows where the bar is if you want to go there. The hotel also is not too far from here. So whichever way you want to go.
Is there like a room we could get at the bar? Just thinking that, like ambient chatter and stuff might be a little bit easier to distract from what we're talking about than people just sitting in a hotel room being snoopy.
If you want to hide a tree, place it in a forest, right?
Yeah, don't really know why I'd want to hide a tree, but sure.
It's a metaphor.
Kai, you do know. Yeah.
He's gonna bend over and kiss her on the cheek.
Okay.
Yeah, Kai, you do know for a fact that there is that you could get access to some of the private rooms in there.
Yeah, so he's just gonna lead the way down to the speakeasy.
Oh well. Okay.
So
Yeah.
Piper wants to get gestures to the demon.
We can talk about him once we have a quiet place. And he turns to Maddie and says, "It is nice to see you again. It's been too long."
Yes.
Have an aged day.
Neither of you.
Let's not. Point taken.
She isn't even looking at you when she says that. She's looking at Tom.
Piper is smitten by this entire interaction. Like her mind's blown because everybody is glowing in this group right now. Like everybody, it's like all the cards are out on the table. Yeah,
with Detect Arcana. With Detect Arcana, what would the camera look like?
Oh.
Would you like to look at the camera?
Yes.
It does say it works on weird science devices.
The camera has. Now that you're looking at it, the camera has this very, very dark. It's kind of like looking into a black hole.
It's not ominous at all.
I mean, you see the shape of the camera. but it's like you're looking into an abyss. And everything seems to be moving toward the lens. Well, there's multiple lenses, but sort of the main lens of the camera.
Piper
Okay.
runs up to Kai and taps him on the shoulder and like looks around at the camera. Her eyes go really wide again. And then she kind of like leans into his ear and says, "Have you noticed there's multiple people around taking photos?"
Yes, I've also noticed that mine don't exactly compare the same way to theirs.
Please don't tell me this camera is your friend, too.
I will say that everyone who is looking at both the camera and Kai notices that it's like every now and then Kai is not glowing or anything, but every now and then it seems as though some like wisp of something passes from Kai to the camera.
Oh, it's eating his soul or something. I don't know. Which
Okay.
5x3 camera.
You know, normally I would not say I would agree with you, Willa, but considering how I found this camera, yes, I would say it is my friend.
Richard doesn't have a friend, does he? That I can see?
Richard's
did.
friends, everyone
You
can
have
see.
a
My friend's back at the church. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Richard's friend distinctly of the fleshy type. Cool.
Yes.
Oh.
And Kai,
You're-
yeah, never mind.
Well, you'll make it into the bar, I will say.
I'm gonna stop
and- Mhm.
Richard just outside, and just and lean to his shoulder a little bit and be like, "This is gonna get tense. I need you at your best." And he's going to just put a little hand on his, squeeze his shoulder a little bit, and you try to invoke relief to remove Richard's fatigue,
thank you.
which works.
Yay.
Friendship.
Yeah.
Friends.
The bags around his eyes
Now I
probably
really
get,
need
like,
to take-
less obvious.
No, I really need to take an hour to smoke, and rest.
Thanks.
Mhm. As you folks you folks make it into the bar, and you will notice sitting in the bar, or kind of hanging out. There are a few people, there are people here. They're drinking tea, and you notice that guy with the weird camera, Piper, that you saw before, kind of hanging out sort of in the vicinity of the bar. And he does not have the camera with him right now. But the woman behind the bar just sort of looks up and addresses Kai, and she looks up. Mordecai.
Jim, what was her name again?
Her name is Selma.
Selma, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Selma.
Hello.
I'm afraid.
And she just sort of this gentleman wanted to chat with you, I think. If you're open for business.
Actually, not at the moment, but I was hoping we could borrow a room really quickly. We need somewhere to not be overheard. Carnival business, I'm afraid.
Okay. You want his card or anything? You want to take?
Yes, I'll take his card, definitely.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, Mordecai is gonna he's gonna try to arrange to get for them to get the room while at the same time trying to make contact with the client.
Okay. Cool. So, do you actually want to talk directly to the client, or do you just want Selma to get the card for you, or that
Just someone can get the card for me. So for
okay, all right. Yeah. So yeah, because she kind of steered you to the other end of the bar, so it doesn't look like Yeah. And so, yeah. Selma will lead you all into a room in the back. That has. Strangely enough, there's a card table and there's actually a little bed here, and a dresser, and after a moment she'll hand Kai a business card that she has picked up, and she says, yeah, he'll be at his place tomorrow, his place of business, and she hands you the card, and the card says, Milton Oakes, patent scientist, photographer, Ether Light Dance Hall.
Okay. Kai's going to thank Selma and pocket it, and he's going to quickly look around the room to see if there's any kind of mirror.
There is a mirror. There's a hand mirror on top of the dresser.
Okay, cool. While everybody's getting settled in and making sure the room's locked and stuff, Kai's going to prop up the hand mirror and get a quick mirror selfie with the camera and the site and everything going on, just so we can have a record of what's happening.
Excellent. Everyone who is, I don't know if anyone's paying attention when you do this, to what Kai is doing, but since you've got this thing going, you can see it's like when the shutter clicks, that's when there's this little, it's like, it would look like a beam of energy for just a moment passing between the camera and Kai, except it's a beam of darkness, and then there it is.
I'm going to try something to make sure that we can do this without being overheard. And I'm going to spend 4 PowerPoints to mind link us all so we can communicate without speaking for at least 30 minutes.
Woo!
Does that work with the spirits?
Including the spirits?
How many of them are there?
There are 2 spirits, and you have 4 other party members.
So I will use a total of 6.
Yeah.
Whew. This bandwidth is struggling here. Okay, because, right, like you mentioned that when I do this, it's not like, it just is mind to mind, right? Like ghosts are going
Ghosts
through
are helping
me.
you do this. Yeah.
Yeah, like, so I basically have a bunch of ghosts flooding my brain so that we can do this, which is loud and weird.
There's a certain amount of ghost energy that's involved right now in the transmission of these messages.
This has not happened in a very long time. A very, very, very long time. But, yeah.
Willa, are you feeling all right?
Nope, I most certainly am not feeling all right. I wish we had never come to this town, and I wish I had listened to Richard and we hadn't set up the carnival here.
Do you want to go ahead and roll focus so that we can see how it does? Or
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I forgot that I had to roll for that. I thought that I just got to make it so. Did it?
Okay,
4?
that's a success.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to mind speaking, Richard kind of looks surprised first, but then just looks comfortable like he's done this before.
Okay.
Oh, this is exquisite. It's like what are they? It's like a telephone board. Yes. Delightful. That's Tom, and he's like, it's very interesting having alleys into people's thoughts. It's fascinating.
Don't get too comfortable with it, please. It's not going to last that long.
Very well. Just sort of sits back.
So who exactly are you, anyway? And why are you following Feldon around?
Feldon's my pet project.
You broke up there, what?
Oh, Feldon's my pet project. He is, shall we say, an attempt at perfection.
Permission to treat the witness as hostile?
Is that your dad?
An attempt at perfection?
What does that mean? What?
I might have some ideas.
Yes, it's really. I think I should let him tell you if he wishes. It's entirely.
Well,
Now would be time.
And Feldon's kind of sizing up Willa, like because like Feldon tries to be gentle with Willa around these matters, but then she just sent ghosts into my brain. So like, yeah.
Do you want to go first, or should I?
When it was 30 years ago now, 31. Hard to say exactly. It's a while before I noticed, but this at first it was subtle. This little creature of the winds, looks at Tom, started being my companion. As time went on, somebody used that link to conjure some tricks, you might say. Nothing too obtuse, just a little misdirections, matters of perception, alterations to reality. You understand,
Well,
don't you?
James, if I can be honest with you, Dr. Faustus comes to mind.
Indeed it does.
The interesting thing, since this fellow started following me, I haven't aged a day. So when he speaks about matters of perfection, that comes to mind.
How old really are you?
Oh, I try not to think about that too strongly. Older than you, let's say that. Our friend Taylor, he exhibits some similar energies.
That he does.
As in, he might be somebody else's project, or he's
I think it's more than that, but that's just my guess.
Okay.
And at this point,
Really?
Betty is just going to look over at Feldon and just sort of say, "Yeah, that's what you were busy with that whole time. Makes sense now."
Never quite had time for those banal issues of putting on a good carnival.
No, of course not.
So, I guess this begs the
Of course, we
question, turning to Tom. So what exactly do you want? What is your horse in this game?
Tom shrugs and says, "I'm just fascinated to see what's going to happen here. Really, this is a unique opportunity."
Okay. I've been lying to
can-
people long enough to recognize that as
Mhm.
dancing around the truth.
And Maddie at this point has kind of narrowed her eyes and is looking at Tom, and she says, "Did you have anything to do with that night? Did you know Andrew?" And at this point, Tom and those of you who are aware, well, actually, so Piper and Feldon probably there or might be aware that she's talking about Andrew Keith, the whistling man, fellow who used to be able to control the weather. It seemed it was a little carnival act he did with Carnival. And Tom will look up and he'll say, "No, he's in. We have something of a history." While you were back at the carnival, grooming Feldon, you let me go in there and take Andrew on alone. You let me go in and basically commit suicide. And you can see that she's darkening a little bit as she's standing up.
Maddie,
You
why don't...
let this happen. Why? And Tom was like, "It was none of my business what Andrew did. It was entirely his decision." Andrew tried to invade this place with his followers from the hunting grounds. He was going to kill everyone, probably, including your pet project.
No, I have a name.
And Tom just sort of is leaned back. He's just smiling. He says, "So you think that means I should help you now? What's past is past." You can see clearly that Maddie is getting a little upset. She's going, and there are a couple of things on the table that are starting to move a little bit.
I look at Piper like,
Maddie, it's done. It's over with. We can't go back. We can't change it. We just gotta make it better now. We gotta focus on how to solve this problem. Please,
You can
please
just
calm down.
Just see while this happens, Willa's basically like white knuckling on the arms of the chair as these ghosts are having this fight.
late night ghost fight.
She's like, "All right, that gate is still open. We have to close it." And Tom leans back and is like, "Oh, is that all? Well, I suspect if you want to close it, you should probably find the one who was trying to open it in the first place. Andrew died. I killed him."
Not Andrew.
That I think Richard and myself might be able to help with.
Yeah, so to deviate off the topic, kind of, we went back to the hospital. We went down to that basement. There was as my friend described it, a hellhound. Was guarding something.
Is that what you call that thing?
That's what he called it.
Great.
Here, I thought you were saying Willa called it a hellhound.
No.
No. Looking back, though, that makes a lot of sense.
We also found more of his symbols from earlier, as well as, well, you saw more, Willa.
It's the damn kids. There's always kids. They're just following me around ever since Cassie, and they don't go away. There was this kid back when I used to be a teacher, and Cassie was her name, and she would just sort of show up and like hang out around the school yard area playing and talking to me. She was kind of shy. She was real quiet around all of the other kids, and she had drowned the year before I moved to the town. And once I realized that, she started just showing up in these dreams that I had, and she would turn into this, she'd grow these big like dragonfly wings and legs and just sort of tell me all this stuff I could never remember, but then when I would wake up, it would come true. The only way that I could get her to stop following me was to just act like I blocked it all out completely, like it couldn't be real, it couldn't be true. And I thought I was doing okay with that until we ran into Octavia, that little kid in the hospital who was definitely just like Cassie. And there's a whole bunch of other kids, ghosts, spirits, echoes or something like that left behind that are trapped down there in that basement. They want to get out.
From what it seems like, they were trapped there by the leader of what we're dealing with is a cult. At least one of the leaders is the head person at the front desk, the head nurse in there. Apparently she's the one who summoned that hellhound.
Delightful.
She's in league with all the other witches.
Can't really be sure who might be a part of it at this point.
But we're pretty sure that Fran and then also the old lady that was trying to get into the basement that Octavia told me about, they're both in on it.
That does make sense to me.
This cult we're dealing with, well, they're dangerous. They're willing to kill. Absolutely. They're involved with demons and all that.
Oh, which reminds me, I did kind of sort of promise the, this was before I knew it was a hellhound. It seemed like it was the way to do it, but I did kind of promise it that he would help set it free in exchange for it helping us stop whatever the ritual is that this cult is trying to pull off. So, yeah, there's that.
You've made a deal with the devil, Willa.
This is why I don't do kids. We had to go to the
Who does
ward
that?
at the
That's just
hospital.
atrocious.
Can you plug it for a second here? You like told it what it wanted to hear, and you're gonna get its help, and then going to move on, right? You don't intend to release some dangerous demonic creature into the wilds unabated, do you? You're just
That wasn't
lying,
my
like I do.
intent. No, I was just trying to help it get out of being chained up in a basement. And then it was like, yes, a contract has been signed or something like that. I didn't actually
Oh,
sign
dear.
anything, but I don't think.
I'm gonna walk up to Willa and put my hands on her shoulders and like look her dead in the eyes and just be like, okay, now I know that there's a lot of toxic spirits. What spirit overtook this body? Because this is not Willa. Who are you? What?
That is just like,
It's me.
Okay.
Feldon's gonna hand Willa a cigarette and a shot.
I'll take it. I that's why I left, because I figured that if I could block it out and if I wasn't around kids all the time where Cassie might pop up and want to talk, like once I realized that she had drowned, she got more insistent. She didn't want to be left alone. So I figured that if I could get away from the kind of areas and the kind of groups of kids and people like that she wanted to be around, then I could move past all of this.
Wow. Well, we're all in the thick of it now.
Mm-hmm.
I do
Yeah.
feel like I mentioned something. I've dealt with this cult before I really knew that they were a cult. A while ago, when my I might as well come clean. That man back there, the Reverend, he's my mentor. He's not a Reverend, and he'll just take off the bandana and cowboy hat, completely bald, shiny head. I can use my mind to influence things. If that makes sense.
It's true.
Moving past that, a while back we got separated. Government was after him and me, for that matter. Probably still are, but I fled, and I eventually made my way to a town. And in that town, I got caught up in crime. So I met this one guy who was really nice, and, well, he got me in on a bank heist. Didn't really want to do it, but I needed some money. And during that heist, he and the other heist goers killed and ate the body of the bank manager, and painted several symbols on their foreheads and the wall. And
You didn't think that was relevant before this juncture? Is anybody in this group like approaching normal? Like, I know I'm weird, and like, but I thought at least Willa and like Kai. God,
I realized it was.
I'm sorry you thought I was normal.
I'm sorry, Mr. Shadow Demon. You're not normal. Hate to break it to you.
I kind of realized it was them back when we found those first symbols on the ground, but I didn't know how serious it was until, well, now.
So the symbols, the warding circles, are the same things that these people who pulled off the bank heist drew in human blood?
I talked to Lazarus, but they're not all the same. They're all similar. They're black magic of some sort. The ones in the basement were specifically to keep things in, versus the ones we found outside were to keep things out. And, well, the ones from the bank were more serious, something to doing with a demon of avarice or something like that.
Makes sense to have that in the bank.
Yeah.
So, these black magic sigils are around the lot owned by our lovely benefactor, Mr. Taylor. who also doesn't seem to seems kind of similar.
Age.
Yeah.
Ever?
Are either of our elevated companions gesturing to the spirits aware of anything about that particular miscreant?
And at first, Maddie will say, I have kind of a feeling about him. I'm not sure, though. There's something. I know that he's not normal. There's something going on with him. And then she just sort of looks over at Tom, who at this point is just kind of like playing with a drink. So he hasn't picked it up because he has no body.
I was about to be worried there.
Yeah. And he looks up and he says, and he says, and he sees people looking at him. He's like, Oh, well, of course. Well, that's the thing. If you want your demon, haven't you figured that out by now? Michael Taylor is Andrew Keith.
Yeah. I knew it.
Oh, what?
Knew it. I knew he was a demon.
I hate being right, frankly.
I hate being
New
surprised.
body and all, but I recognized him rather immediately.
I didn't get it.
No.
So yeah, that went over Piper's head.
Me too.
Feldon turned to Scott. You could try being helpful on occasion.
There's rather a lot of energy always going toward keeping you looking good.
Oof. Ooh.
Forgive me if that wasn't helpful. I can always stop.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should. All right.
I didn't ask for this.
See how you. Well. Let's see how you enjoy your advanced age for a little while. I think I'm done there for now.
No.
With that, Tom just sort of seems to blow away like ashes, and as he does so, Feldon appears to age. Lines appear on his face, and when he looks back at you, he's 30 years older. And that, I think, is where we're going to end it for this week.
What the fuck, Jim?
Excellent.
Thank you all very much. I enjoy this group so much.
God, Jim.
So many exclamations.
We're all in
Knew
danger.
it. Demon.
Can I get an advance so I can take the elderly edge, at least for a second?
Not yet. No, you're okay. You're okay. You're not. You're still mechanically about the same. You're feeling a little. Yeah, you're feeling.
Oh, I'm down to actually do the mechanical changes if you want.
No. It's only 30 years. You're not. For goodness sake, you're not quite that old yet.
I mean, that makes him like 60 something. So
50s, 60s. It's you can manage.
Like, it depends on the
Give
jump.
me
like,
some
if you
hope
went
for my
from-
next 10 to for my next 15 years.
okay, so I understand now. That's fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Feldon's a spry spring chicken, definitely.
Yeah.
Gotcha, Jim.
Well, folks. This is a delight. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our outros. We will go around and just basically get everyone's contacts. Feel free to say where folks can find you, any favorite thoughts or favorite things from this session, or just final any final thoughts. And we'll go ahead and go around. I guess we'll just go around the opposite way, and we will start with Colin.
Oh, cool. Start with me. Neat. Hi, I'm Colin. I am also a part of Wayward Expeditions' Rest of the Rune Lords campaign. You can find the link to that in my Twitter bio. It's the easiest way to find it. The website URL is really weird. But I'm also hosting, once again, stressing this, I'm hosting the next Meat Grinder on the 28th. Signups close Monday, so there are open spots. So if you want a spot, now's your chance. Deck of Many Things themed. You get a wish if you survive. Who doesn't want a wish? And once again, the charity polls for those go out soon as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Cool. Any final thoughts you want? Yeah.
Ooh, favorite moment was probably just everyone gathering together. It's like, all right, everyone's spilling the beans now. Just kind of that moment of like, all right, that collective like we're together. Like, yeah, we need to have a talk.
We're all in this together.
That was great. And now let us head over to Anna.
Hi, yes, I'm Anna, also at Iberia941 on Twitter. I also have a YouTube channel that's just my name, Anna Goldberg, where I talk about books and games and TTRPGs and stuff like that. So check it out if that sounds interesting to you. I'm actually, in addition to this game, I'm going to be running my first ever facilitated on stream RPG tomorrow, which is the Sleepaway horror RPG on Chromatic Chimera. So if you like your summer camps with a side of eldritch horror and lots of like really awesome queer stuff and fundraising for the Trevor Project, then go ahead and check that out. That's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern. Favorite moment, God, like there were just so many of them. I really loved finally all getting to sit down and like talk about what's going on there, but I definitely think the moment when it finally clicked that the smoke demon's name is Tom, as in like literally the devil. Just figured that out like 5 minutes ago. Was great, and I do
years
like
old.
being surprised in this way. Just for the record, I'm just more like, wow, how many times can your mind get blown in 3 hours? That was my favorite thing about today's session.
Yay! And now let us head round to Nat.
Hi, I'm Nat. Like I said, I was playing your magical liar today. This was just so very fun. You can find me online at CrimeNet, spelled right above my forehead. You can also find me on Mondays with no initiative on the Chromatic Chimera channel at 3:30 Eastern. Nope, 6:30 Eastern time, and Tuesdays over on the Kobold Press Twitch channel. Me and Lydia, also known as Kobold Number 7, are doing our tips, tricks, jamming advice Tuesdays. It's that's lots of fun. Favorite moment of the session? Ooh, there was a lot of good fuckery today, but you know, I have to. I feel like I gotta give the gold star to Jim just for like I put the offer on the table right at the end there, and you know, I'm like, if you want, do it, and Jim's like, fuck yeah, smack that red button, let's go there, and that was excellent.
Yes,
thank you for that.
Thank you for that opportunity. That was that worked out quite nicely. Excellent. All right, and now let us head over to Pepper.
Hello. My name is Pepper. You can find me on the Twitters at maybe4815. And I have two favorite moments from tonight's session. First one is always Willa making the deal with the Hellhound to set the Hellhound free. Boo, what are you doing? No, stop.
Look, me as a player, I'm always torn between animal handling and necromancy. And it just happens in every single game I play, no matter what I do. This choice is presented to me, and I have to take it.
Porcano Los Dos!
Always great when that Venn diagram intersects.
Yes! So lovely when that happens. And my second favorite moment was when Feldon got de-aged. We went full on like Benjamin Button on this bitch. It's awesome.
Ooh, alliteration.
This is true. Awesome. And finally, over to Ray.
Hi, I'm Ray. I play Piper, who loved everything about today. Today was great. Favorite moment was like literally everybody having this like weird interaction in the town. I just imagine like us all glowing to each other and then just like this weird comical walk through town as we're like trying to be normal going to the bar. Like it was just like so comical in my head and I loved it, every second of it. But yeah, my name is Ray. I'm with Brick, 2Ks on the interwebs. You can find me Fridays right here on Encounter Roleplay at 6 p.m. EDT for Friday Night Frights. We're playing Urban Shadows. It's really awesome. I play badass Oracle who tells the future, maybe sometimes. And this Saturday, I am going to be on the Scoticus Academy at 9 a.m. EDT Saturday morning, running a one-shot for some charity for gamesforlove.org. So come by and support and watch some Saturday morning shenanigans with me at the helm. Yay. But I love this group and I love being a part of it. So thank you, as always, Jim, for being amazing. And the cast and crew for being awesome, too. I love it.
Yay! Thanks so much. This has been such a delight. Who am I? I'm Jim. I am OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jim.com, where you can find links to my various things that I do. In 1 hour, I'm going to be over on my channel, playing in The Sprawl, a cyberpunk game that's powered by the Apocalypse, run by Brian. Who I actually saw gave us some bits earlier this session, which was awesome. And then on Saturdays I run Invisible Sun. On Sundays, typically I usually do one shots in the afternoon, and then in the evenings we play Dark Matter. That is not actually happening this coming Sunday because I'm taking a wee bit of a break. Then on Monday nights, I am over on Salty Sweet Games playing their 5e campaign, Strange Invasion, Assault on the Barrier Peaks. And then Tuesday nights, I am running a little a mini campaign for that I do a different one every month on my channel, and this month's one is Casketland, which I happen to have the book with me, a little ash can here. It's another Powered by the Apocalypse game. That's an occult western, and it's utterly delightful in its imagery. Folks are at the end times, and things are desperate, and everyone needs water. So then, of course, on Thursday afternoons, back here, and we'll see how this progresses. We only got 2 episodes left, and I see the roller coaster has officially started turning downward, and so I'm going to be very interested to see how things go. And as one more time, I just want to remind folks, if you are into Zweihander, which is, again, that's one of the other games that's been run on this channel, 50% off deal going on its core books. Go check that out. The links are in the chat. I just want to give a shout out to the YouTube viewers who are watching us from the distant future. Thank you very much for picking this up. If you made it through the outros, please comment with what would your demon be called if you had one following you around, and what would they be doing for you? Because goodness knows there's been times when I've desperately wanted one. Thanks also once again to our sponsors, Fantasy Grounds and World Anvil, who make the RPG life so much more interesting. And that, I think that's pretty much all of the business we have here. So we're going to lead out to the trailers for tomorrow's show, Masks, The Heroes Next Door. In the meantime, folks, take care, and we will see you next week.
Have a good Tuesday.